introduce you to Tara.
You vixen, you. Starlet, I love you. That gown is gorgeous.
Thank you. I saw it in the window and I just couldn't resist it.
Great line. She has perfected the art of the ear pull and the Tarzan yell, but above all, the one and only Carol Burnett has spent decades making us laugh, especially during her 11 seasons on The Carol Burnett Show.
Well, now Carol is taking her fans for a walk down memory lane through a brand new book. It is called In Such Good Company, 11 Years of Laughter, Mayhem, and Fun in the Sandbox.
And she ain't talking about summer camp.
Yeah.
It is such an honor to have you back. I love these yearly visits from you.
I know.
Oh, it's such a fun book. I mean, most tell-alls, right, Hoda? We get a lot of people on to, you know, they got the juicy stuff. And you have one tiny little juicy story in there we'll talk about in a bit. But it was so kind and so loving. If anybody's looking for that kind of stuff, it just didn't exist.
I know it sounds very Pollyanna-ish, but it was a family and it was fun. 11 years of laughs. That's what we had.
To go back, and I guess you revisited the episodes. Did you sit and watch episode after episode?
I felt like Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard. I'm looking at her, oh my God. But actually, I didn't sit through the whole hour. I fast-forwarded through a lot of the sketches that I remembered. And then, of course, through the musical numbers, because I didn't really describe those that much in the book. But I wanted to jog my memory about some of the sketches that I'd forgotten. And I said, whoa, that's funny. Then I looked at another, oh, that's terrible.
But it's such a crapshoot, isn't it? Comedy is a crapshoot. You don't know.
Totally.
And that's why you had to rely on each other so much. It was the most perfectly cast show, each person. And it's really fascinating reading the different ways that each person came to it.
Yeah. Especially Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah.
I love how she came. Yeah, she came to be on this.
A fan letter from a 17-year-old girl who had just graduated from high school in Englewood, New Jersey. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading her letter, and it's very intelligently written. And she enclosed a newspaper article about her, local, that she was going to be in a Miss Fireball contest of Englewood. And there was a picture of her, and we hadn't gone on the air yet. But we were talking about doing a segment where Harvey and I would be a married couple raising my kid sister. And I saw this picture, and she looked more like me at 17 than I did. So, and then I looked at the date.
For the contest.
For the contest, and it was that very night. The letter had been sent 3 weeks before, but it was sent by CBS, and then I got it.
Boom.
And so my husband came downstairs. I said, don't get too comfortable. We're going to go see the Miss Fireball contest tonight.
That's what life with Carol's like.
He said, what? Are you crazy? I said, no, we're going to. But then what I did was I thought, well, I should call Vicki and make sure she'll be comfortable, because her father's name was listed in the article. Howard Lawrence. And so I dial. Boy, back then you could dial. You know. So the phone rang, very nice, you know, rang. And a lady picked it. She said, hello. And I said, hi, is Vicki there? And she said, this is her mother. Who's calling? And I said, it's Carol Burnett. And Vicki got on the phone, and she said, yeah, hi, Marcia. She thought that was, and I said, no, we're going to, would you be comfortable if we come to the contest? And she won the contest, and then we tested her the following summer. And there it was.
What I love the most, if there's anything you take away from it, is obviously the love that you all shared. And the support system was incredible. And all the things that have become iconic about it. But you tell in the beginning of how the show even came to be. You were a big star at CBS. But even you had to fight for the right of a woman to host a comedy variety show, because they said, no, just the men. That's a man's arena.
It's a man's game, because it was Sid Caesar and Milton Berle and, you know.
All of them.
And even Dean was starting.
But they couldn't say no to you, because we hear a lot about pay for play these days, and people don't quite understand what that means. You had a pay for play deal all the way back then.
In your contract, you were
in the contract.
31 shows, was it, that they had? 30 shows.
They had to put them on, and they didn't want it, you know, and I said, but this is what, they wanted me to do Here's Agnes, which was a
A sitcom.
Can you picture it?
And 12 years later, 11 years later, it was all the stuff you're going to read about in this book. Carol, we love you so much.
I love you too.
Love
Thank
you.
The
book
word
is
legend
such
is
fun.
thrown around too much, isn't it, Hoda?
Well, we're with one.
We're so glad you're our living legend.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
Let's do our ear.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. All right. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.